Well, hello everyone. I have stuff, bunch of stuff here. Tools, more tools, deer hide, birch. Got water. Pepper has everything she needs. This is Pepper. She's got another bear hide in the old trash can. Her clothing is in generally really good shape. She doesn't do much but go fishing and sewing. Kind of make the time go by. The bear hide that's directly behind her came from the bear that walks in front of these cabins, but I don't know if he's back yet. Like, does he come back before? Look at all that food. Yeah, let's eat that food. And drink that water. Sure. There's plenty of everything. Pepper lives in a world of absolute food. She has a lot of food. Because with each and every one of those deer hides, of course, comes deer meat. There was some horrible arrow disease on this lake, and a bunch of animals died from it. And I ate them. So it's a good day for a mag lens fire. It is. It really is. Now, you're thinking, why are you going to do this to Pepper? Why are you going to give Pepper parasites? And I bet you she is wondering the exact same thing. She's like, we don't need parasites. We can't even technically get parasites because cooking is level 5. Never get parasites or food poisoning. Well, yeah, you have to, I'll show you the trick. We'll get all that here in a second. Well, there we go. Put that outside. Pick that up. Can you sit on a shelf, maybe? Yeah, about this shelf. Ooh, good. Look at that. Okay, starting to get a little cold, but that's fine. How are we for arrows? 7. Lucky number 7. Now, of course, she does have archery level 5. Even with a thick head, she's still bound to be a pretty decent shot. Now again, you can also, Pepper just picked up a piece of cloth off of the beach here, off where the water meets the ice.
Damn.
Yeah, the parasite guy, the guy who got parasites a couple of times already. Oh, there you are. Well. Good arm. Yeah, the new behavior of the animals is kind of, oh, okay, overshot that pretty good. Let's, oh. Ah. Since the update, the animals have started doing some really strange things. Like how they move and stuff like that, and how they respond to stuff and everything else. Also, they've changed the targeting systems, which is disconcerting. Okay, he's coming right for me. Alright. realize he was dead. Well, this is convenient. Let's start a fire. I should have a stick on me or two. What else do I have? Torches. Well, we'll get rid of that right away.
Come on, little fire.
Yes, little fire. Perfect. Okay, so we have another stick. We do have some coal. There's absolutely nothing I've left here. How many torches do I have? Yeah, we'll actually cook. Three minutes. Well, you know what? Just take a little run out this direction. So yeah, you see how he did that kind of scared little butt scoot run that dogs actually do, or wolves actually do when they feel they're actually in danger. Yeah, so that was a change. Animal behavior. Great, now I've got no idea where I shot this thing up to, but I'm pretty sure it's not this far. Dave mentioned the speck wolf. Little black dot on your monitor and you think you're being stalked by something that's just over there. And then you realize, oh, no. But it's really bad for the old speck arrow. Okay, where did this thing go bouncing off to? Did I get my cheese emergency? Yes. It's a cheese emergency. Huh. I'm sure I'll find it. Well, after I warm up, of course. So this is in celebration of making 100 subscribers off of basically the Long Dark. I didn't get a lot of subscribers, new subscribers, due to this War of Mine playthrough, and I didn't get a lot of subscribers, obviously, through the 2 whole Rim World episodes I attempted. I keep threatening to get back to that, and I will actually get back to that, because RimWorld is a lot of fun. It's really difficult. It's a tough game. Nope, okay, back in there. Actually, let's warm up. It's a very tough game. Even with, yeah, you're gonna need these. And well, actually, this will come in handy too. And now with the new spraying system, while we're here, might as well mix up a bandage or two. Like, yeah, there's a warning. You can't stand in the doorway like a moron or else you'll fall. Like, look at this guy. He just, I don't know. Still scary, but I don't know. Some of the terror has been taken out of him. Okay, now he was more, I was standing here, I shot. This way, and then he came running back. I mean, it is definitely bright enough to see an arrow. Look, it's a rock. Huh. I mean, they do take really weird bounces, but I mean, you know, for your distance is how far out you can see things. You really can't even see the wolf right now, so you basically, sometimes with arrows, you almost have to walk right over top of them in order to see them. That's which is true kind of with a lot of things in life, you know. Is the bear back, I wonder? Is he back? Oh, we got some wind coming up. Yeah, I did sort of a newbie maneuver there. I went out and I killed the wolf without having any firewood. You know, basically, before you go hunting, you should always get prepared. Grab something to cook the hunted animal with.
Say I hate being cold. I really do.
Well, did I say I hate losing arrows? Because I really do. Although as the day goes on, it keeps getting warmer and warmer out for her. Alright. What do we have here? 52 minutes. There it is, wolf carcass. And I'm nicely set up here. Oh, okay. Here's a feather, but they're not interested in being out and about. Wolf meat raw. Alright, well, might as well get her done, I guess. Warm up first, why not? So I believe I fixed my echo. Now I just really need to keep an eye on my recording, because for some weird reason, even though I had it disabled as an input for microphone, my desktop audio was picking up my voice at a slightly lower level, and I never realized. Apparently it had been doing it the whole time. But now this isn't my trick. Combination, a couple of people showed me this. LNG was the one who showed me that you can get food poisoning from eating raw meat. He made cooking level 5 and then proceeded to eat raw deer meat immediately afterwards, just to see. And thing about cooking level 5 is the tip is in the title, cooking. Right? You have to cook the food for your level 5 to kick in. So, what we'll do is we'll eat ourselves some meat.
Oh.
Risk of intestinal parasites. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this. She's got food poisoning and the risk of intestinal parasites. But look at that risk. 75% from just one wolf steak. Yeah, pretty good, right? Like right off the hat, right off the hop. So, and I learned this trick. What is it? How do you do it? No, that's not how he did it. That's right. I think he was on this menu. And yeah, Hadrian. Hadrian double clicked. There we go. See? Food poisoning and intestinal parasites. So let's run on into the shack here. She's going to need a bit of rest. Because her condition will just drop. But yeah, between Hadrian and LMG, I figured out how to get intestinal parasites at cooking level 5. Sorry, it's so anticlimactic. I mean, anybody could figure that one out, right? Because pretty much a lot of us have done that. Eating the old raw meat off the ground. I forget exactly how Hadrian did it. Either he double-clicked or something when he was picking it up. And anyway, he ended up eating raw wolf meat and getting intestinal parasites. It was quite the move, man. That was dude, sorry about your luck. Fingers absolutely betrayed you this day. So, now let's work on fixing ourselves, shall we? We got food poisoning. So I'm definitely going to need a tea. Because it lets you pick, right? So we're going to pick with the down that tea. Good stuff. Phew, indeed. So let's look at that now. So food poisoning. Now I need my 10 hours of sleep. Intestinal parasites. There it is. So basically, for me, my tea is going to be a before bed thing for Pepper. As she joins Team Gutworm and becomes basically, as far as I'm concerned, you're immortal after this because you can go outside, get knocked down to 90% or knocked down by 90%, and the next day emerge fully healthy because of the amount of consecutive sleep you can get from having parasites. It doesn't help you on a sleepwalker or a dead man's challenge, of course. It just wipes you out. But I imagine dead man's challenge, being able to sleep, the whole goal is to put in time, but I think if you want a successful dead man's challenge, the whole goal is to put in time constructively. Free Day Gaming, he's doing a really good dead man's run. Wait a second here, let's see what we got. Okay, so we're going to top up on water. So sorry that was so anticlimactic, but that's usually the way I roll. Tell somebody something exciting and then completely disappoint them. One second. Okay, so conveniently, now that she has intestinal parasites, I just slept for 9 hours. Now I'm going to sleep for another 9 hours. My food poisoning has been healed. Here we are. It's now the next day. I went to sleep for 18 hours because I have intestinal parasites. It's amazing. If I had bothered to drink yet one more tea, she'd be fully healed. So this is the life of Pepper. She just goes from base to base, depending on what she feels like. Her journal says, yeah, it's 560. She's been around for 560 days. It's my longest interloper survivor. Although she's only explored 66% of the world, I'm sure she's explored more of the world than this person, because when this person was around, they've added another zone since. So there's actually more world to discover. Let's see here. Indoors, outdoors. It's almost 50-50 because the amount of time she spends fishing. I fish a lot. Yeah, 250 days in Timberwolf Mountain. So almost half of her life was spent on Great Bear. It was spent on Timberwolf. I love that place. Just love it. So much fun. And I don't mind Forlorn. She just doesn't go there. So she's running roughly at about 60% for her bow hits. Nailed 3 different animals with flare shots. Few wolf close encounters. Few wolves killed. Few. The bears aren't doing so well either. Yeah, this is the girl. It's almost legendary. I talk about her all the time. But I was hunting a moose. The moose backed me into a bear that I didn't know was there. I just kind of turned around and there was this snowbank on the road at Desolation Point. And I'm like, is that a bear? Like 30 feet away from me? And he stood up. And I was like, it is. So I ran and jumped off sort of an area by the bridge, hoping that would break the charge. But it did not. However, running away from the bear caused me to run into aggravation range of the moose. So after the bear finished thrashing me into the ice, I got up, and just as that animation ended where you're like all kind of woozy from the bear attack and you can kind of look around and maybe pick up your stuff, that's when the moose jumped me. So I made it into the Riken, and after stimming, and so I think I was so close to death. Oh geez, I think we can find that day. Desolation Point. Oh, there it is right there on day 55. See, things were fine. In a few days. She's doing okay here, wandering around. Then we went over to Matt's truck. And yeah, that's what happened. 8%. And I used a stim to survive after that. Injuries sustained, 3. I betcha. Broken ribs, lacerations. Alright. Well, so it's coming along. I don't really care. All my clothing is in really great shape. You can push this warmth bonus up to 28 degrees. But yeah, she's pretty much completely recovered from all the ridiculousness there. But as much as you know, now people are like, well, why, how is that a tip? It's like, well, it's a tip. Sorry, not to be like, I don't mean to be disparaging to other people's gameplay, but how is that a tip? And it's basically, for me, it's a tip on how do you do that, and what can I do to avoid doing that? And eating raw bear meat or raw wolf meat will give you parasites, because if you get your parasite risk up to 75%, I think for every hour you get a chance to hit and if you can't sew something in half an hour at 70%, you are definitely going to get parasites over a 24-hour period at 75%. That's totally happening. So yeah, oh, see, there you go. See, I could have gotten a sprained ankle right there and given you a tip on how to avoid getting a sprained ankle. So that's how you can get, if you want, parasites. If you know what I mean, you're at 400 days. You've got really nothing to do with your character because it's just an endless cycle of you procuring, cooking, and eating and sleeping, right? Like it's just a constant cycle, right? So let's say if things are going that way for you. Well, now you can, with a really strong and well set up character, survivor, give yourself parasites, and it's a little something to do with your time. You know, it's going to take 20 days. You might not have, like Pepper, there's no store-bought antibiotics, right? So she's going to have to go get tea. Like, I'm sure, I mean, I am sort of, you know, a little bit apprehensive that there might not be enough mushrooms for her to survive this. But I'm pretty sure if I did put some mileage on the old deerskin boots there, yeah, she'd be okay. Because really, there are mushrooms everywhere in this joint. All right, well, she's warming up. Now, I don't know if I showed everybody this, but okay, here we go. One more thing to show you real quick. All right, 41 minutes still burned. Yeah, so you can get yourself a sprain walking in and out of a fishing hut. Okay. It takes roughly the same amount of time, but you get an extra 20 minutes of mercy on the burn time. So if you're fishing and cooking meat at the same time, you can get caught and not, you know, for that hour and not quite turn around in time and pick up the venison. And that'll end up costing you quite a lot, actually. Because throwing 1,000 calories down the tubes is just... I'm going to leave this here because Pepper's got to go for a walk. So I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed. That's really awesome. Sorry I'm having an exciting time in a fishing hut. She's killed a lot of stuff here. There's not a lot of things walking around. I was saving that wolf actually for the parasites video because I was pretty sure the parasites guy, you can go get parasites a third time without eating raw meat. He doesn't need to give himself food poisoning as well. So, all right, my next video will be a continuation of my Dead Man's Challenge. But I've been thinking a lot about what Pest said about Interloper kind of leveling out for the difficulty. And I agree. In adding a whole bunch of new zones and stuff, new territory, there's a... I guess the difficulty becomes a little diluted. because at any point you can just go off. If an item's not in one spot, it's in another, you know. Yeah, you can get yourself pretty nicely set up on regular interlope. So, I was also looking at the Dead Man's Challenge. I've been throwing myself into that. And, I have noticed... I just went indoors with meat on me. That's not usually how I do that. Now, this meat can turn rotten. It can go right down to 0%. And I will never get food poisoning. Because that word, there. That word combines with this word, cooked and cooking. And all of a sudden, you don't get sick. So, canned food also does not give you food poisoning at 0% when you're here, whether or not you cook that. But a big piece of raw bass might give you some food poisoning. I've gotten away with it. I've eaten raw fish by accident and didn't get food poisoning, and I couldn't believe what was happening. So then in disbelief, I immediately stuffed another piece of raw fish down my gullet, and hey, I got food poisoning. Yeah, I sure did. So that's not, I doubt that's a 50-50 thing. I think that's a really, I think I landed on a 3%er there or something. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's really awesome. I'm happy that anyone would want to watch me crash through this world here. But yeah, anyway, we'll see you next time on my Dead Man's Challenge. Till then, keep surviving. Oh, yeah, what I was going to say is I'm going to cross Interloper with the Dead Man's Challenge. I'm going to give myself the low condition recovery rate, so it's just like Interloper in that you can't recover. But the rate being low, it comes back slowly. And with the lack of items in the Dead Man's Challenge, because the loot is even less than Interloper, I think it'll be a fun. I think it'll be a fun setting. So I'll try that out. Maybe I'll record that too. Actually, okay. All right, we got plans. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.